Morning. I have my tea here. Today is a Sunday. I had a very slow start to the day because, as I said, last week was very tough. London is very calm. It is a little bit windy. There was a little bit of rain. Not my favorite type of weather, but I appreciate the calm. Today I just going to do a bit of cleanup today and the next few days. But what I want to do over the next, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks is really go into the detail of things, because normally I just clean very quickly, but now I want to make sure that everything has a spot. I'm going to really reorganize this bit. I'm going to put a little book. I'm going to organize it, make it nice. My room is still a mess. I'm going to organize my my drawer for underwear, etc. Because I realized that my laundry drawer, when I look at it, as I'm now looking really into the details of things, I probably use about 50% of it, because I have all my brassiers, I have my underwear, but then I have some other things in the back that I actually never use, because like I would have these little silk camisoles and things like that. Because of where they are, I never actually use them. I think as I'm working on my decluttering, on my spring cleaning, etc., having things like this on display will help me actually wear them more, because I never reach to these and I want to be wearing these things. Very nice silk camisoles. I also have belts and things like that should not be in here. I have chunky jewelry that doesn't get worn because obviously it's hidden. So what I want to do now is make my laundry drawer really just for that. I want to bring my pajamas, because I have culled my pajamas and now I have only the silky ones. I want to bring all my pajamas into the drawer with my underwear, with my brassiers, and all the things that are related to the same thing in one area. So that's what I will be doing this morning. I will be doing it very slowly, lovingly. I will take care of my things, organize them very well, and as I'm doing this, I will be assessing the things to keep and not to keep. I don't expect to toss much. It's really just about reorganizing this bit in a way that makes my life easier, such that I can use the stuff that I like more often, and I can finally wear these things. So yeah, so this is my organization so far. I have used 2 of these organizers. These are drawer dividers that I had already in Morocco. They've been with me everywhere. I had them in Belgium. I now have them in the UK. I'm not sure whether I have more in storage, but at least these are the ones that I had. On this side I have organized all my bras. I'm just covering now with a camisole. And then here I have all of my pajamas minus one. So this is a kimono at the very back, because whenever I have my summer pajamas, they're usually very small and I like to have a cover up for them. And then the summer pajamas are this camisole and shorts. They're from Olivia von Halle. This is a long sleeve and pants pajama for all year. That's also Olivia von Halle. This is a robe, a black robe from Intimissimi. I bought it, I think, in Italy when I was with my sister in Milan. And this is a black dress that I would wear with this, because it's also for summer. It's by Simone Perel, and it was one of the last things I bought in Belgium, because when I was leaving my previous job, they had a goodbye party and they gave me a gift voucher. And I remember the gift voucher was for Galleria Inno, which was a department store next to me, but I didn't need anything because I was leaving the country. So this was small enough and expensive enough that at the time I wouldn't buy it for myself. So that's what I bought with my gift voucher. I still remember that. These are pajamas from Ecru. I have these in this white with navy piping, and I have the exact opposite, navy with white piping. The navy ones are permanently in my travel bag over there, so they never leave. I just wash them when I'm back from a trip. These I will definitely iron and put back. And these are also Olivia von Halle. It's long sleeve, and you've seen them in some of my videos. Yeah, so that's what this is gonna be like. I'm going now to just organize this little bit, and that would be my laundry drawer done. Yay. My mentee gifted me this little print from when she visited Hungary, I think. And it's been there since the new year because that was my new year gift. And I've only gotten around putting it now. And I really like how it complements the colors of my book tower. Now I have a little problem with my books because I'm starting to use the candles that I was using as book stops. So at some point I might need to get proper book stops because as the candles empty up, they become lighter and the books start tilting, so I just don't want them to fall off. But I absolutely love this. It's very aesthetically pleasing, and I think that really goes well with the reds, with the little mannequins, etc. Book stops will have to wait until after the lockdown, I guess. This has been my favorite snack to make because it takes no time. So I just take an aubergine, that's an eggplant, and then I cut it in half, and then I just smear some red miso paste. I don't add salt, I don't add any seasoning, I just pop this in the oven, then 15 or 20 minutes later, depending on the size of the aubergine, it's ready to eat. I think it's a perfect savory snack. Also helps me get my fiber in because I have been living on pasta. I think I've been having pasta almost every day, so this is a good dose of something, veggie. I'm now whipping up a massive batch of pasta sauce. This is bolognese that I made from scratch because I have finished my project last week. As of tomorrow I'm starting on new stuff, so I'm not sure how intense it's going to be, and I want to at least have some food to eat that is on the ready. This just means cooking some pasta, heating up a bit of sauce, and I'm good to go. I'm about to have a little bit of coffee. Sorry about the mess, it's just I need to clean all of that, but fine. I'm just making instant coffee. It's this one from Clipper. That was my backup because I finished the other one last week, but that's the coffee that I typically have. Normally I like making espresso the old-fashioned way using an espresso maker. However, the small one that I had is not meant to go in the dishwasher, and one day I accidentally put it in the dishwasher and it all got destroyed, so I couldn't use it anymore because it was releasing stuff, so I couldn't use it. So hopefully whenever I get the time I will probably get a tiny espresso maker again, and then I can have the coffee just like my dad makes it. But for now it's not really a necessity, so I will enjoy this one. I boiled some water. I'm gonna have this bit. I'm gonna have a little bit of chocolate. Oh my god, this is dire. I need to actually start organizing this later on because I do have quite a few of these cupboards that have space like that where it's not fully utilized. And as I said, one of my objectives is to get rid of my storage unit, but I do have places like that I could definitely store things in. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I forgot. I was gonna have a bit of chocolate. I'll have this one. My favorite chocolate of all time is actually this. It's called Fire Tree. It's Philippine chocolate. I absolutely love it. Like, I don't know how many of these I've had, but today I'm gonna try this one. This is Papua New Guinea, and I'm only going to have 2 or 3 of these squares. And I'm going to read my book. This is a book that I have been trying to read for ages. It's one of those very, very dense books with very thin paper, and it is a bit scientific and all of that. So I'm going to now actually properly sit down and start it from the beginning, and hopefully I'll enjoy that. Hey, it's Monday afternoon or late afternoon / evening. I am super tired. I have been working non-stop. Mondays are always crazy, but I feel today was a very good work day. Today I'm not going to arrange anything because I don't have energy to work on a specific drawer or anything like that. So I'm just going to fold some of the laundry that I had already and maybe do another load for silks and stuff like that. But that would be it. I'm just tired, so I'm probably gonna try and sleep. I'll nap for about an hour and then maybe I'll stretch. We'll see. Hey guys, shiny face. It is Tuesday, end of day. I'm already in my pajama because I'm just dead. This week I have been really bad at taking breaks during the day. Last week when I was on that project, at least I would still make an effort. Yesterday and today I just didn't, and I'm exhausted. I think it's because I feel a bit more responsibility, because what I'm working on right now is really how to stay afloat during this as the business is drying up. And so that's why I feel like, because it's about our survival and my job survival, I'm more invested. But I really need to take a step back and follow the advice that I give to my clients by telling them that you need to beware of fatigue. So I really need to take care of myself, otherwise I'm probably gonna get sick. I already know it. But anyway, so I cleansed already my face. I had a small bit of exfoliation. I used Kate Somerville Exfoliate, and then now I have just the Thirsty Mud from Glam Glow. That's why my face is all shiny. But I've had so many breakouts. I just feel it's the combination of stress, just constantly thinking, and not eating that well, because I don't have a lot of fresh food. So I'm gonna try to improve my food. I will continue having my vitamins and all supplements, but also I haven't been working out. I've just been super tired. As part of helping my company out, I decided to take 1 week of vacation, but I really need that. So I'm going to take it in 9 days, 10 days. In 10 days, I cannot wait. I will just need to recover, not look at a computer. Although it's going to be while being on lockdown, I don't mind. I just need not to think about work, because I'm really tired now. Hey guys, it's Wednesday and it's the end of my lunch break. You can probably tell I'm feeling much better versus yesterday. Yesterday I was so tired and I couldn't recover from my day, and then I had bad cramps. I was chatting with my friend who's in Canada, and at some point I ended up at midnight just sitting in a bathtub with hot water, because I didn't really have anything else at home for the pain. That worked a bit. I managed to sleep a few hours, so that's good. And today I feel much better. And so I just decided that for my break, I'm not going to continue the mistakes that I did in the past 2 days. What happened, the reason why I was so dead is just because I didn't have breaks. I have a lot on my plate, but I also need to recognize that I really need to give my best. And for me to give my best, I need to be well rested. So what I did is that today I started a bit early, which is fine. But I made my breaks really proper, so I didn't have a proper break in the morning. I only did 5 minutes when I did a first load of laundry, had it dry. Then I did a second break, which is my lunch break, and for this one I did not look at a computer, because I noticed that I would be just oscillating between my phone, my screen, my etc. So I did not look at a computer. Instead, I just took out my laundry. So these are some of my lighter silks that I'm going to put on the hangers, and then maybe later on in the afternoon I will steam them. I also kind of managed to finally open up my Laura Mercier powder, because it is running low, so I'm going to finish it probably this month in April. And then also what I did was work on these little flowers. So I have made this little pot. Normally whenever I have a vase of flowers, I make sure that I use them until they're completely dead. Some of the roses that died, I have just added them to this, and some of the orange ones I have added them to that. So nothing goes to waste, and this way I can have this stuff even 2 or 3 weeks after when I got the flowers. This is my working station. Has been very busy. One thing I started doing, and that I told my sister, is that every time that I moisturize my lips, I also spray my face with some rose water. I was really good at it last week and my skin was good. Then I skipped it for 2 days, and yesterday you've seen how my skin looked. It was just horrible. Today, with a good night's sleep, a lot of the zits that I had have actually flattened, so that's actually good. I still have this one and a couple here and a couple here, but compared to last night, my skin feels better, more rested. My stomach
because I had all these stress symptoms. My stomach was just killing me with cramps. Today I feel much better. Still not much of an appetite, but that's fine. So I just need to now to up the moisturizing and start moisturizing my nails and hands again, because that's something I did well last week and I skipped this week. So taking it easy. I'm about to get started again. Yeah, 12:59. So I'm going to start again my work. So I'll see you later. Hey guys, it's Thursday. Again, still very busy. This is my lunch break now, so I'm going to just have a soup because I don't have time to cook nor the willingness to do so. Today I'm wearing this little, where is this from? Eric Bompard. So I like Eric Bompard tops. I think most of my tops now look the same. This is knitted silk, so I really like that. And actually I'm wearing shorts. So I'm wearing these leather shorts by Sézane. I bought them, I think, a year and a half ago. They were one of the first pieces I had bought from Sézane, and I actually never wore them. But as I said in one of my previous videos, this whole I'm going to be staying home made me just go over everything that I have, and I'm making the conscious decision of either wearing them or getting them out. So I did my laundry yesterday. I still need to steam all of these bits, but I noticed obviously that it's a whole lot of Sézane in here. So that's good, because it's not, I mean, it is a brand, but it's not like a branded thing where it's super expensive and it's good quality when I pick the right things. Eric Bompard is silk, so this is really good. Very soft, very easy maintenance. I like the shape of the shoulders. I just love how this whole outfit looks. So that's something that I really am happy about. In my wardrobe, I was thinking the next thing I'm gonna try in the next week, not this week, but next week, I would probably go over this section and look at, like, have a hard look at my blazers and stuff like that, and see whether I really want to keep them. So we'll see about that. Maybe not next week, we'll see, because it's not really blazer weather. But yeah, I have been getting everything out, and every day I wear something and make a decision whether it stays or not. So I'm going to eat my soup, have a break, not look at a computer, and then I resume work in a bit. I tried to stretch. So I had the first cleanse. I didn't do my second cleanse yet. And I tried to stretch, but then I realized I was too tired and tense to do that. So instead, I'm going to do a meditation. So I'm just gonna find I'm gonna just find something on my phone, put it on my speaker. I've already put a candle, and then I'm going to try and meditate, because if I'm not even able to stretch, I really need to get some of the negative energy out. So I need to relax a bit more. Hi, today is Friday. I had a pretty early start because we had to do our staffing meeting, and then I was just in meetings back to back. Now it's 11:30, so I'm just popping something to thaw in the microwave so that I'm ready for my lunch in about an hour. But in the meantime, I have a couple more meetings and stuff to send. I didn't really do any organizational purging today. I have a lot of stuff in there because I washed some of my workout clothes. Not that I have been working out, but I have been working on my laundry pile, and I'm happy to say that it's actually smaller. I will have a very packed day, so I don't think I will be doing any organization, but tonight I will wash all of my makeup brushes, because I realized it's been weeks I haven't washed them, which I know is disgusting. Look at the state of my beauty blender. So that will be my organization stuff for the day, and then maybe I will tackle my electronic drawers if I have some energy. But for some reason I have noticed that these days I just can't wake up. I'm always sleepy, I'm always lethargic, and I'm not really sure whether it's because I haven't been outside in so long, or whether it's a change because we have moved to the summer hour or whatever. But I'm taking vacation next week as of Thursday, and I really cannot wait. I cannot wait. I really need that break. Hey guys, I'm going to have a nice bath because I had a very tiring day, but I thought I would show you my stretching routine. And I obviously am not a a fitness instructor or anything. I'm not flexible at all, but my goal is to stretch at least 3 times a week, ideally every day, which was not the case for now. Maybe it will be different next week, we will see. But first, let me tell you why I'm stretching. So the first thing is because I do get a lot of tension, because that's how I get my stress. So typically I get knots around here, so that's something that I always get. Also, I'm still recovering from my surgery, so you can see that my foot is not flexible. Like, this is me trying to flex it versus this one, which is a lot more, you know, I can do it, like I can go to a high angle as much as I want. This one, if I want to flex it, I have to twist my knee. I also have some knee issues because I have a congenital knee dislocation, so it's very difficult for me to do certain angles, and I have generally very tight hamstrings, so I'm not that person who can do splits or anything like that. So what I want to achieve by doing these stretches is first remove the knots from my neck. So you will notice that I do a lot of just letting my head play with gravity. So essentially I would just go down and let my head just go like this, very relaxed. I like having that weighted feeling, and it helps really with relaxing my neck. It helps with removing all of the tension. I will also do some stretches where you will see I do stretches with my feet, and most of the stretches that I do are for the hamstrings, because that's always something I've always had an issue with. And hopefully my goal is in a month or two, not to do a split, but to be able to like do a proper half split, ideally. So we'll see how that works. For my foot, my goal is to be able to flex my toe without having to rotate my knee. It's still quite scary for me to rotate, and that's why I typically cannot do a plank. I cannot do a lot of things. So if I manage to get my flexibility back in my toe, I might start trying to do proper planks. Otherwise, I will be doing stuff on my knees. That is essentially it. So these are my objectives. I will do a small montage, show you how I do my stretches. This carpet is very long. It's not the thickest because it is only 4 millimeters. It's by Lululemon. It was a special edition for London. But what I like about it is that it's very, very long compared to the traditional yoga mats. Because it is thin, I cannot use it on the hardwood floor in there because it really, really hurts my knees. So the only place I can work out is actually in my room because it has the carpet, which means that it's a pretty narrow place for me to do so. But I make it work, it's fine. And then I have this little ball. It's very light. And then this one is weighted, but I haven't used it yet. And then I have these weights that are 1 kilo each. And then this foam roller, which I haven't started using yet. And this yoga block, which I haven't started using, and a resistance band. I am going to build up towards my routine. So for now, it is just stretching. And then when I'm more comfortable, I'm probably going to add in weights and things like that. The thing is, I was not one to work out a lot anyway, so I don't want to really go too fast into this and then find myself not wanting to do it anymore. So now I'm going to have a bath, and typically what I do is I go on my Audible and then I listen to an audiobook. Currently the one that I'm listening to is Codependent No More, and by by Melody Beatty, because I have read the previous one by Pia Melody. It's Facing Codependence, and this one is about people who, it is inspired by the works around people who have somebody with a chemical dependency in their family, but then the concept has been extended to people who just have somebody who is dysfunctional, and because they are so invested in that messed up person, end up having a very unhealthy life themselves, because they are living either in guilt or as a victim or trying to control, over control, etc., etc. So it's your typical mother of a child who has a problem, or the typical husband of an alcoholic, or something like that. So these people who typically have somebody with an issue, but then end up being almost in prison. So I had listened to the first book. This is now Codependent No More. The other things I have in my reel is there is an audio collection by Pema Chodron. She's a monk. And so she does these meditation sessions. I think she's very famous because she's Western and speaks good English. So it's a bit easier for her meditation sessions to be more widespread. Then there is something called How to Listen and Understand Great Music. This is almost 30 hours of classes, but I think I'm going to restart it because I had been listening to that, and then a few weeks ago I realized that they also have a PDF. And honestly, I'm not lazy to restart it over because now I want to follow it with the PDF, so I'm probably going to go through that again. And then I have something on the Ottoman Empire. These are a lot of things that I had started, but I hadn't finished. There is also one, it's called The British Knight, and this one I started and I didn't finish because initially I thought it was a romantic thing, about somebody, like it was about this US lady who has met a British man, and then a love story starts. But then when I started listening to it, I realized it was like erotic or something like that, or at least I'm a bit of I'm not that open-minded, I guess, but I did find that the novel was really steering towards erotic bits, and nothing indicated it, so I was just getting very, very uncomfortable listening to that, and so I didn't finish it, and I don't think I will finish it. Yeah, but these are the books that I have in my reel. So now I will go and draw my bath. I'll probably have chamomile, a little bit of chamomile from Moroccan Reef, and I already had my candle for a couple of hours, and then I will call it a day. Yeah. Right, so I just finished my bath, and I was going to use the normal body butter that I use, which is the Elizabeth Arden. Remember in my last empties I have shown you the big tub that I finished. I just didn't have the heart to open one more half a kilo tub, so instead I picked another one from Veleda. This is the skin food body butter. So I really, really, really love the skin food just regular cream, the original thing that comes in a tube. I think it has an amazing smell and it's very moisturizing. And so when I bought this initially, I assumed it would have the same smell, but because it came with this foil, obviously foil, it didn't have any smell leaking from the packaging. But now I don't think it has a smell. I think it has a very, very, very faint, almost very light vanilla smell, but you cannot even smell it. Like on the skin there is nothing because it's all natural. so I think it's just the natural smell of the nut. So part of me is slightly disappointed that it doesn't smell like the other one. It doesn't have that lemony scent. But on the other hand, I understand that for some people who have very sensitive skin, this is good. But extremely moisturizing. Feels amazing on the skin. Like, my skin feels so soft after this. So I'll definitely continue purchasing this. But I will first finish this and some couple lotions over summer, and maybe the Elizabeth Arden butter that I haven't opened yet. It's just something about me being at home for so long just makes me want to reach to new stuff. So I've noticed even this morning when I was doing my makeup for work, I almost wanted to just pick something completely new just because. So I definitely feel a bit restless, and if something like this is going to make me feel better, then why not? I wanted to update you on my audiobook because I have listened to 2 chapters, and having listened to that, I realized maybe not everyone's going to enjoy this book. So the whole codependence concept was based on Al-Anon, who are meant to be the spouses or companions or people who have been affected by alcoholics. You know how AA have their 12-step program? Well, this is something based off of that. And because I have never been exposed to that, I wasn't aware that is very, very religiously charged, I would say. Very strong Christian references everywhere. I mean, they're showing Jesus' name everywhere all the time. And I think if you are not from that culture, it can be a bit jarring to just have them keep referring to this stuff in scriptures and whatever. And it was quite interesting also from a social study thing, because I immediately made the parallel with, we have people like that in Morocco, where I'm from, who would also shove religion in everything. And so with that certainty, you know, with that it is this way because, and blah and blah, and you would have situations where you, for instance, trying to talk about just something about work, or you know, trying to talk about any topic, and then they would say, and you know, it's because the right way of facing of prayer is towards 27 degrees this way, and you're doing it at 28, so you know it's not right, and things like that. That was the vibe I got from this book. I'm not saying that any religion is wrong, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be referring to that for your day-to-day life. I'm just giving a heads up that if you're reading that book, it might be a bit much if you're not from that culture. So instead of reading that, I would recommend reading Facing Codependence, which is another book I read on the same topic. That one obviously also relies on the same concept. We'll also have the every now and then a reference to the religious or the higher power, etc. But it's not in a way that is too in your face. So you're still able to feel that you have a bit of responsibility in what you're doing in your everyday life, not that you have no say, right? Because I was hoping to give you good recommendations, and because this second one on Codependent No More kind of fell through, I'm going to offer you another book to look at. So one of the books I recently read was this one, The Examined Life by Stephen Gross. So this guy is a psychiatrist, and what he did is he put small essays summarizing some encounters that he had in his practice. So this is a very easy read. I used to read it when I used to commute to work. Every essay is maybe a few pages long, and this is definitely something that made me think. There are a lot of stories. You don't necessarily relate to the story, but you could always start thinking about something parallel from that. So I thought it was quite interesting, because obviously he is a psychiatrist and people typically would do that every day. So they would go spend an hour with this person every day. So that's a nice book that I would recommend. I have already recommended this book many times because I have multiples of it and I give it to a lot of my mentees. As you can see here, I have a few copies of it. So I always have at least 4 or 5 copies running because I highly recommend it. What else have I read recently? I had that book about To Kill a Mockingbird. I was never able to finish it because I just felt it was heavy, too descriptive. I understand a lot of people really like that because that's something they read in high school in the US, but I just couldn't get past it, so I might need to restart it again, but yeah. Then there is a book that I bought by accident a second time because I'm just so predictable, but I think I had that book in Morocco. It is Akio Morita, made in Japan. That's the founder of Sony, so I'm pretty sure this is the second copy that I have. I did not finish it, but I think it's interesting to see the thinking. What else can I recommend? That would be it. I had the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and the Reverend Desmond Tutu, but that's also another book that I didn't really finish. Anything here? No. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to still finish that book. It's not so horrible as to me not wanting to finish it. I just wanted to point out that all the use of the biblical references sometimes can get you lost, because I obviously don't know these things. When they say, like in the story when Jesus said this to them, that, and I'm like, I have no idea. So I'm still going to finish it because I think there is value in the work or the research that was done. I just don't feel it was deep enough, because I feel it is a lot more based on religious beliefs than scientific data gathering. And so for me, the way a lot of the concepts are explained is still with that fatalism in it, not in, okay, this is what we have seen. And so I sometimes tend to detach when people don't give a lot of evidence, not because I'm a non-believer or whatever title people would put to that, but because when something is meant to describe a medical condition, I'd rather it be based on medical research. That's a bit that. So I hope that the alternatives that I gave you will make up for this. And let me know if you have any books that you have recently discovered. So I'll just continue listening to this, and maybe I'll finish it in a few days.